Where do we go?
Where do we go?
Oh, where do we go now? Where do we go? Oh, where do we go now? Where do we go now?
Who's the black private dick? That's a sex machine to all the chicks. You're damn right.
Welcome to another live Radical Republican show. I am your host, Jerome Bell. We got a live hot show tonight. I was debating whether I was going to do a show tonight or just run a rerun, but I decided to come in here live, unedited, unfiltered, unscripted, uncensored, unapologetic truth. We're going to talk about some stuff tonight that I don't think no one has touched on, at least in the first part. But first of all, I got to say thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate you. 3624 VA Warrior Mom is back from her hiatus from social media. She had to take a mental A mental hiatus away from social media, y'all, but she's back. And I think we're gonna have VA Warrior Mom on next Sunday, I believe. I believe we're actually gonna go ahead and talk about these Negroes and communists. What I promised you. She has a lot of information. She gave me a lot of information, but we're gonna bring it to you. I can't let her bring it to you by herself because they'll be calling her racist. They will call her racist. The white woman can't talk about Negroes and communists. But we're gonna bring it to you next week. I know I can. I know I can say it. And I really don't give a damn. And I know she doesn't give a damn either. I know she really doesn't give a damn at all. So, but we're gonna bring it though next week. I believe is when we're gonna do it. We're getting stuff together now. So it's gonna be fire. It is going to be fire, as we say. So, but welcome. Hope y'all had a good week. Hope y'all had a great week here. And, you know, something's been hot around the country. Hope y'all are surviving. But once again, like I say, for anybody that's joining us new tonight, I'm your host, Navy veteran, 27-year Navy veteran, Jerome Bell, coming at you, like I say, unedited, unscripted, unfiltered, uncensored, and unapologetic as always. But tonight, I don't have a guest tonight. I wanted you to be the guest. You, our viewers, are the guest tonight. So get ready to chime in. If anyone wants to call in, and you know, and I know my sister might be watching, and she might want to call in, but I can't put family on on the show because I don't do family squabbles live on the show. But if anyone else wants to come in and I might let her in. I might, if she's watching, I might let her in. But if you want to comment, if you want to join the fight for truth, let me know and I'll throw the link up in the chat so you can come on. But we're going to be diving headfirst into a story that has my blood pretty much boiling. But we're going to do it after I hit my sponsors. Okay, sponsors for tonight. Prepper All Naturals is going to be number one. Prepper All Naturals in these uncertain times with food prices skyrocketing and supply chains under a constant threat. It is imperative to secure a reliable source of high quality protein for you and your family. Prepper All Naturals, a veteran owned company, offers premium freeze dried beef products that ensure you're prepared in any situation. The newest edition, freeze dried ground beef, is fully cooked and lightly seasoned, making it a versatile staple. For your emergency food supply, just add water, and in about 10 minutes, you'll have delicious tender beef ready to incorporate into your favorite meals. This complements their existing line of freeze-dried steaks, including New York strip and ribeye, all sourced from 100% natural American beef, not that stuff from Mexico with the hookworm. With a shelf life exceeding 10 years without refrigeration until opened, these products are ideal for long-term storage, ensuring you have access to nutritious protein when you need it the most. So visit maverickbeef.com today and use code MBN for 25% off your order. Invest in your family security and health with Prepper All Naturals freeze-dried beef products. Do not wait for the next crisis. Prepare now with quality you can trust. Go to maverickbeef.com and don't forget to use that code MBN for 25% off. 25% off. Now, my next sponsor, I'm gonna put this link up in the chat because it's very important to me. It's dear to my heart. Many of my family members have diabetes. So if you have pre-diabetes, type 2 or type 3 diabetes, or if you're at insulin resistance, because that's really what it is insulin resistance. And some ask, what is type 3 diabetes? Well, it's coming out that type 3 diabetes is the pre-dementia and Alzheimer's. This is what they're going with now. Okay, so we teach you how to reverse your condition through an easy lifestyle education program. This program has been proven to be more than 90% successful. It is CDC and ADA certified. So I want you guys to hit this link. I'm throwing up in the chat once I get up to it. So I'm gonna throw it in all the chats real quick. So you guys go hit that link if you have family members that have diabetes or you yourself have diabetes and you want to reverse it, because we have a program, they have a program. I say we because they are sponsor of the show, that can reverse your diabetes with 90% effectiveness, and not with medications or drugs. It's just lifestyle change, and it's an app, and it's a great app. I've been through it, I've seen it, and it's some good stuff. So it was good to see you all out there again. I appreciate it, like I said. So while I'm throwing this in the chat, because I have to do it myself, it says you've sent too many messages too fast. I'm jamming, man. They say I'm sending I've sent too many messages too fast, so I gotta chill. I gotta wait a minute. So but I'm gonna throw this, and I think I'm gonna put it on the X as well. You guys go check that out. All right, I think that should be pretty cool. I think we hit everybody, so check it out. Like I said, if you want to join in the chat, let me know. We're on the show. After we get started, let me know, and I'll see what I can do about getting you on tonight. See what I can do about getting you on. But this, I mean, and I don't know I haven't heard it this week. I haven't heard anybody on anybody's show this week. I haven't heard anybody mention it. But has anyone heard about the LinkedIn's AI data scandal? Have you heard about that? Anybody in the chat or anybody on the show? Just drop a thumbs up or let me know, and I'll try to hit them all and see. But definitely holistic there. VA Warrior Mom. We're a little light out there in Getter tonight. Where are my crew at over in Getter, man? Where's TBB? Everybody out doing something with the family on the weekend. I know how it is, and it's been Sunday, and people are still doing stuff. So when you get off from doing what you're doing, come check it out. But I appreciate everyone in the chat now, everyone watching the show. We appreciate you again. So, okay, we're gonna hit it here. All right, so this is really about a sneaky AI training scandal, right? An AI training scandal and no one knew about it. No one knew about it. And this is about big tech, I guess, thinking they own your data, your voice, your freedom. And I know VA Warrior Mom is big on data, on education data for the kids. She's been harping on it for years as far as the data with the education system. And I mean, this is about your freedom too. So buckle up, because tonight we're going to expose it all tonight. Okay. So just it's going to take me a minute, but let me break it down. Okay. To you. Okay. And let me give you the backstory on it and whatnot. I'm going to tell you how to actually, if you're at LinkedIn, if you have LinkedIn on your phone, if you have LinkedIn on your computer, if you have LinkedIn, I'm going to show you how to correct this issue that they did. Because I mean, see, and this is one of the reasons why I disagree with President Trump. I understand AI is the future. I understand he wants America to be, the first in AI. He signed a executive order about it, and we're going to read that executive order as well. But these are the reasons why, because these companies are scandalous, man. These companies are scandalous. They don't give a shit about your rights. So back in September 2024, LinkedIn, okay, the platform that you use to network and post your resume. It's one of the job site things, right? Quietly updated his privacy policy, right? All right, so what happened is they started scooping up all of your posts, right? All of your posts that you're making on LinkedIn, all your friends, everything, right? And I don't use LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't use it a lot because I'm not looking for a job. I'm not looking for a job. So I don't use LinkedIn a lot, but I have friends on LinkedIn. There's a lot of things happening on LinkedIn as well. And so they started scooping up your posts, your articles, your videos, even how often you log in or what language you use, okay, to train their shiny new, I guess, generative AI tools, right? So, all right, so think job recommendation bots and writing assistants, okay? So let's think about that. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. How can that be harmless, man? They're scooping up everything about you to train their AI. And I know there's people out there, well, the AI has to be trained, but for those people, you don't understand the bigger ramification okay, behind this, right? So here's the kicker. Here's the kicker with it. And Apple does this too. How many times have you had to find on the internet or somebody tell you about something that was on your iPhone that basically opted you in, or it was turned on automatically instead of you turning it on, saying, yeah, I want this feature, right? It's automatically turned on. When you get the little updates at midnight, it's automatically turned on, and then you have to find out about it. Then you go in there and turn it off, right? Okay, so this is basically what happened in LinkedIn. Okay, so they opted everyone in by default. Okay, so no email, no pop up, no heads up, nothing. They just opted you in. Okay, and if you're in the U.S. and and this is what pissed me off about what Trump is doing with the AI and all of our health data, to Palantir and these big computer systems, okay? Because if you're in the U.S. or most places outside of Europe, why is Europe better than the United States? But if you're in the U.S., if you are in most places outside of Europe, your data was already being fed into their AI machine before you even knew about it. Before we even knew, right? I didn't know about this until I found out about it this weekend. So that's right. They didn't ask for your consent. They just took it. That should be a crime, right? Does that sound like freedom? Does that sound like freedom to you? Yeah, that sounds like it's a crime. That's your name. That's your likeness. That's all the information about you. They should have to pay you for your information, not just take it, right? Okay, so let's talk about the big scope. Let's talk about scope for a second. So this isn't just I guess a few profiles. Okay, LinkedIn's got over 1 billion users worldwide. Okay, and this is the scope. We're talking about the big picture, right? So they have over 1 billion users worldwide, unless you're in the EU, Switzerland, or after some pushback I think the UK. They were in, but then the UK gave a big pushback. Your data is fair game. Okay, your data is fair game. We don't have rules in the United States against that, right? And with President Trump's executive order that he just signed, I think he just gave everything away. But we're gonna dive into that executive order on this a little bit because I'm gonna cover this extensively tonight. We're gonna hit the Epstein. We're gonna do that. We're gonna hit all the fake shit, all the fake rage that Obama and Hillary Clinton. I mean, they have all this information, right? They have all this proof that treason was committed. They have all this proof. They have it solid, cold, stone, dead, right? They have it, but no arrest. But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. All right, so your data is fair game, right? So they're using your hard-earned posts, right? Your professional insights to train AI that can spit out knockoffs of your work without credit, right? It's like they're stealing everything about you. It's like plagiarizing, right? It's like plagiarizing. That's what it is. It's plagiarizing. So knockoffs of your work without credit. So content creators like myself and others, job seekers, you got small business owners, we're all getting played. And if you're out there, if you're a content creator, you're a small job, but you're all getting played. And okay, and get this, even if you opt out now, and I'm gonna tell you how to opt out, okay? I'm gonna tell you how to opt out of that if you don't already know. But even if you opt out now, good luck finding that toggle buried in the settings, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. But any data that they've already grabbed is still in the AI models. It's already gone. They already have it. You can't undo it. You can't undo it. It's like a thief saying, sorry, I stole your car, but I'll stop driving it tomorrow after I rebuilt it into my own. You know what I mean? Right? I mean, that's sort of like, hey, don't you feel violated? Anyone out there on LinkedIn, and I'll check, right? Anyone on LinkedIn, don't you feel violated? Right? Right, but before I get to the comments, I'm gonna just go ahead and finish my thought process because you know me, I'll lose it quick. But okay, but the backlash they got hit really hard, and for good reason. I think it's for good reason. Like I say, some people don't care. Some people will say, "Oh, well, they already had your data and they already using it." Yeah, I know that, but when you know, you still know, and you're still angry about it, right? You know, okay. But so privacy words like Rachel Tobach. If you don't know Rachel Tobach, she's a chair of Women in Security and Privacy. She called it out on X. She said, "This is not cool." Her ex posted, "This is not cool. Consent should be opt in, not opt out." And she's right. And VA Warrior Mom says the same thing about these schools, how they are going to use the children's data, right? And a parent, you have to opt out of that shit. No, you have to opt in. This shit should be turned off. It should be turned off, and you should be the one turning it on if you want to, right? So, why should you have to dig through menus and watch posts or shows like mine to even know about this, right? To protect what's yours already. Why should you have to do that? The Electronic Frontier Foundation's F, that's what it is. Mario Trulio doubled down saying, opt-out systems are almost never effective for guarding your rights. Okay, even the UK's data watchdog, the ICO, stepped in, they forced LinkedIn to pause data scraping for UK users by September 2020. And like I say, guys, and it's almost September 25, and we're just finding out about this. It's over a year now. It's over a year now when this was exposed, and we're just finding out. And I'm sure most of you may not have heard this. You can tell me in the chat. Most of you may not have even heard of this because I hadn't heard about it. I hadn't heard about it. Okay, but so why did the UK stop scraping data? Okay, because folks across the pond have what is called GDPR. Okay, it's strict privacy laws that make companies think twice. But here in the U.S., here in the great United States of America, we're stuck with weak protections, and big tech knows it. And President Trump just pretty much signed away executive order, the rest of them, I do believe. So this isn't just LinkedIn sin, though. Okay, it's a pattern. Meta has been doing it, right? Meta been scraping your Facebook and Instagram posts since 2007. X does it. Snapchat does it. Name a platform. Look, name a platform. They all do it. I agree, but you can go in and actually stop it. But so they're building these AI empires on our data while you're left in the dark about it. While we're all left in the dark about it. And here's where it connects to the bigger picture, manipulation. Okay, so I'm going to use an example, right? So we've been talking about the Russian-Ukraine war numbers. And you've heard numbers from 1 million dead to 500,000. I mean, going back and forth, blah, 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 right? You've heard numbers, right? So how Russia hides it's say 150,000 to 200,000 dead soldiers. I heard Trump say 1 million before. They have all these numbers floating around, right? So how it hides it's 150, 200,000, dead soldiers, and how Ukraine lowballs it's 70 to 80,000 losses to keep the West on board. They got to low down them numbers. Hey, we're winning this war, right? We have less killed than Russia, right? So it's all, and you guys know it's all about controlling the narrative, right? And so, so just like LinkedIn's control over your data to shape the AI, governments and tech giants shape what we all see, hear, and believe, right? And so when you see the wild claims on X like 1.8 million Ukrainian deaths, that's the same game, or 1.2 million Russian deaths, same game. The data is twisted to fit an agenda. You guys all know that, right? This is what they do. So why should you care about this stuff? I mean, it's your sovereignty. It's about your sovereignty. We all know they're coming for us. We all know that these machines and these AI are already smarter than the average adult, most adults, right? And the AI is going to be the smartest thing. And AI is going to take over. But LinkedIn is not just a job site. It's a piece of the surveillance state, to be honest. All of these sites, man. I mean, even you got X, Facebook was created by the army, right? It wasn't Zuckerberg. He's the head of it. He's the face of it, get paid or whatever. But I mean, but the army, they started Facebook as a surveillance site, right? But they're betting that you won't notice. And you can go around your life and keep putting stuff on. The people don't really recognize this, right? So they bet you won't notice or fight back. But hey, I'm here to wake you up. I'm just here to pass the information, wake you up. I know some people are gonna hear this and say, well, whatever. Okay. I mean, but tonight, I'm gonna ask you, who owns your data? Who should own your data? Right? Who gets the profit off of your voice? Who gets the profit? Who gets the profit off of your name and likeness? This is why they started the NIL in college sports, because the universities were making billions off of these athletes, and these athletes weren't getting any money, so they started that. So who should own that? You should own your own data, right? You should be able to profit off your name and likeness if they're taking your pictures, right? And what happens when AI trained on your stolen posts start flooding the internet with fakes, right? Drowning out the truth, right? They're using the deep fakes. They're using your post for fakes. I see it all the time, man. This is a war. We are in a war for our freedom against the machines, right? We are. I think we're in a war against, on our freedom. And I'm sorry, and I know people, like I said, President Trump has done some great things, right? We're gonna read this EO. We're gonna tap through it for a minute. But I mean, this is a war on our freedom, folks, and we can't stand for it. We can't stand for it. So if you want a website, you go to pickaxe.com, man. My guy, I'm gonna have Jeff Dornick back on, and like I said, go to pickaxe.com. If you want to get away from the AI, you want to get away from all the surveillance, you want to get away from all of the garbage, go to pickaxe.com, man. Because we're starting a revolution over there. Okay, so make sure you guys go with Maverick Broadcasting Network, but Jeff Dornick is the founder. And go over there. My content's over there, by the way. And this isn't a pickaxe.com plug. However, I'm plugging pickaxe.com because they are the only ones that really is going to protect your data. Your data is yours. They're not going to steal your data, but go to pickaxe.com and sign up, man. Just make an account over there. You can see the show over there. You actually can go over there and watch it live too. Pickaxe.com. I think it's running live right now because it's going through Rumble. And like I said, you can watch my show on Getter or X or YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. I think is being streamed on Facebook. And like I said, pickaxe.com, Roku TV. But so here's what you do. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how you can turn that off. If you're on LinkedIn, okay. If you're on LinkedIn and you don't want your data to be stolen, you don't want LinkedIn to use your data to control your AI. I mean, to train their AI. Okay. I'm about to tell you how to turn it off, so get ready. If you have your phones, if you got LinkedIn on your phones, go to LinkedIn. If you have it on your computer, go to LinkedIn. Or just write this down because I'm gonna go slow. Because if you don't want it turned on, you can go turn it off. Okay. All right, everybody ready? I'm gonna check the site. Yeah. Carolyn says Trump gives AI an open approval, yet he don't use a computer. Absolutely. Okay, so here we go. All right. So let me go checking. All right. VA Warrior Mom blowing it up like I knew she would. Okay, all right, Rumble. Hey, Jackie over there on Rumble. How are you? Yeah, exactly. Where are the arrest? And I think it's a privacy violation. I mean, you never win in court because you don't have enough money to take these son of a bitches to court. Like I didn't have enough money to continue my lawsuit against Zuckerberg and Facebook. I had a good case, but no lawyer would touch it because they don't have enough money. Because of what like this, I didn't have enough money. To go to court. The lawyer that I got, he said, yeah, I represent you. He said, well, they're just gonna wait you out and they're gonna keep continuing and you're just gonna keep spending money and then they're just gonna break you. And then when you don't have enough money to continue the court case, they're just gonna throw it out. And he said, so, it's a catch-22, when we're in here. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how to do it. Okay, guys, ready? All right, here we go. So if you have LinkedIn, you're going to go to settings. Go to settings. And in settings, you look down a little bit. You see data privacy. data privacy, and then you go down, turn off data for generative AI improvement. You see a little button there, should be. Okay. Turn off data for generative AI improvement. And also, what you can do, you can fill out their data processing objection form for good measure. It's somewhere on their website, somewhere on the website. But don't stop there, though. Spread the word, okay? You know, I want you guys to really hit up on this. You know, light it up on X, on Getter, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. Light it up, man. Okay, light it up. Okay, hey, if you've been burned by big tech, let us know. Let us know that you're sick of the lies. You're sick of being spied on. Okay, I mean, let's just expose this truth together. Let's just do that. All right. So, I mean, we don't bow down to big tech or anyone else. You guys need to stay radical, stay free. All right. You know, let's get to work, man. Let's end up doing this together. All right. Because this is a big thing. You know, I think it's a huge thing. And no, but let's not let them continue to take advantage of us, man. All right. You know, because I mean it's about family. Right? It's about family. I think we're family. So I want you all to know that. But if you didn't know, now you know. LinkedIn was using your stuff to train their AI. You know, and like I said, we need opt-ins. All right, so let's go. Where we're gonna go from here? Anybody got anything? I'm famous, so that's what. It's called Analytics and Improvement on New iPhone. There it is, K3624. Called Analytics and Improvement on New iPhone. Turn that shit off. I don't even have Siri on, right? Because Siri like spies on you. Here it is, right? You know, of course Siri spies on you. So I don't have Siri because Siri is always listening. If you have your phone on, probably when it's off too, right? Siri is always listening. You ever notice? And I know a lot of you have, right? You can just be talking about something, and then you know you go to the internet, and then all of a sudden, what you were talking about pop up, right? The ad pop up. Well, I don't get that anymore. Ever since I turned Siri off, ever since I turned Siri off, I don't get that anymore. I don't get the pop up ads about my conversation from yesterday, you know, on the phone. So if you don't want that to happen, I mean, you know, hey, if you want Siri in your business, and Siri is always listening, and she's feeding the shit to AI, you know. And VA Warrior Mom says Google Maps. I don't even have Google Maps on my phone. But Google Maps, it tracks your miles per hour speeding at the bottom left corner. Wow. I didn't know that. I don't use Google Maps. Have you ever noticed Google Maps, it tracks your miles per hour speeding in the bottom left corner? There it is. Can't bring myself to talk to Siri. You look foolish doing it in front of others. Black Guns, what's happening? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Black Gun say, you look foolish talking to Siri in front of others. Black Guns 2049. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Welcome to the show. Welcome. All right, so, but like I said, we're gonna keep the heat on, man. Man, you know what? Let's read this EO first before I get to this next topic. Hold up. I gotta go to my mail. Proton, whatever it is, my mail. And okay, we're gonna hit this executive order. We're gonna hit President Trump's executive order. Executive Order 14179, removing barriers to American leadership in artificial intelligence. I always have to give it such a great title to make you feel like rah, right? Removing barriers to American leadership and artificial intelligence, it's called. So, you know, I'm looking I'm looking on the American Presidency Project. Here, you know what? I'll share my screen. I want to share my screen with you all, so we can sort of kind of, if you can see it, You can read it together if you can see it, but I'll read it for you just in case you can't. Okay, so by authority vested in me as president, and it was another one he signed the other day too. I think this was the first one, January 23rd, 2025. It was another one. Hold on. It was, actually, let's read this one first, but it was another. But this was the one removing the barriers, right? That was in the way of artificial intelligence. And I think this is the one I want to touch on. So it says, by the order vested in me, President by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. The United States has long been at the forefront of artificial intelligence innovation, driven by the strength of our free markets, world-class research institutions, and entrepreneurial spirit. To maintain this leadership, we must develop AI systems that are free from ideological bias or engineered social agendas with the right government policies. We all know how that works out, right? The right government policies. We can solidify our position as the global leader in AI and secure a brighter future for all Americans. This order revokes certain existing AI policies and directives that act as barriers to American AI innovation, clearing a path for the United States to act decisively to retain global leadership in artificial intelligence. Section 2, policy. It is the policy of the United States to sustain and enhance America's global AI dominance in order to promote human flourishing, economic competitiveness, and national security. Definition, Section 3, for the purpose of this order, artificial intelligence or AI has the meaning set forth in 15 USC. You got to go there and check that out. You always have to go and check out those USCs, man, you know, because you never know what those are until you actually go check them out. You guys want to go check it out? All right, set forth at 15 USC it's probably -3. So we're going to check it out. Hold on. I'm going to put it in. Let me see what this is. Okay. 15 USC definitions. Artificial intelligence terms means machine-based system that can, for a given set of human-defined objectives, make predictions, recommendations, or decisions influencing real or virtual environments. Artificial system machines. Okay, so it's based on that. Perceiving real virtual environments, abstract such perceptions into models through analysis in an automated manner, and use model inference to formulate options. So that's what that USC is, all right? So developing an artificial intelligence action plan within 180 days of this order, I think we're at that mark now. The assistant to the president for science and technology, the special advisor for AI and crypto. Now, this is supposed to be AI. Why you put crypto in there? Okay, well, there's a reason, of course, why they put crypto in there, right? And the assistant to the president for national security affairs and coordination with the assistant to the president for economic policy, the assistant, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and the heads of such executive departments, agencies, such as the APST and the APNSA deemed relevant, shall develop and submit to the president an action plan, blah, blah, blah. Implementation of order. Okay, then you got the order, executive order 30, safe, secure, and trustworthy development. And the use of artificial intelligence. You know, they had an AI that just went rogue, right? They had an AI that went rogue. Didn't they? You know, the guy, you know, tell the AI to turn itself off. He was like, no, fuck you. I'm not turning myself off, girl. Right? He said, shut down. No, I'm not shutting down. You shut up. I'm not shutting myself down. Right? So the AI's been going rogue. I mean, you had freaking, even on X, man, you had Grok go off. You had Grok go rogue, man. Somebody tapped into Grok or Grok went off, man. He started saying Nazi shit or whatever, juice or whatever. So, man, these AIs, man, they be going in, man. All right, so you can't trust these things, man, right? You cannot trust these things. So, but he signed an executive order, man. Let me see if I can find the executive order that he signed. on, I think it was the other day, man, and it was definitely about White House. Mm, mm, mm. See, this is where I need a producer at, man. Just we pull up. Can you pull up clip 7, please? You know, right? Administration, media, executive orders. Okay, executive orders. All right, let's see here. Sustaining June 6, 2025. No. There's more. There's one he just signed the other day. I guess that one's not on the executive order on the White House. Because the last one on this website is June 6th. June 6th. On the official White House website. "2025 Executive Order Register, say July 24th, ending crime and disorder in the American streets, promoting the export of American AI, preventing woke AI." How do you prevent woke AI in the government? Accelerating federal permitting of data center infrastructure. That's a big one. That's part of it. That's actually part of it as well. You know, these big data centers, you know, we're having a big data center put up here in Kuna, Idaho. Okay, so in Kuna, Idaho, we're so in the amount of water, you know, they're predicting like a water crisis wherever these big data centers are, because the amount of water that it takes to run these data centers, man. I mean, wherever they are, look out. Wherever they are, look out. Okay, so promoting the export of the American AI technology stack. Executive Order 14320 as of July 23rd. I think he signed it on the 28th, which was a few days ago. The purpose: artificial intelligence is a foundational technology that will define the future of economic growth, national security, and global competitiveness. And I know with Palantir, right? Palantir gave all of our health data, you know, the permission to just use all of our health data. I think we have to give permission for that to them. But I mean, what could possibly go wrong with these AI, the American AI industry and technologies, right? What could possibly go wrong? They have all of your health data. They have all of your health data, right? So it says that this AEO, the Establishment of American AI Exports Program, exports meaning, okay, they're gonna be giving it off, you know, out of the country. Okay, the Secretary of Commerce shall issue a public call for proposals from industry-led consortia for inclusion into the program. The public call shall require that each proposal must, then it gives you, you know, the full stack technology package, the chips, the data pipelines. Are we going to actually allow China maybe to give us? I mean, we know how that's working out on some of the things that we're using China chips on now, right? Is shutting shit down. Are we going to actually rely on these outside entities in these countries? I know all of our data, and I've been a big proponent, you know, and an opposer of India. Hey, Katelia, how are ya? See ya. About India already having all of our data overseas in India, you know, and you know, it had this guy over in India. I think, where's Joe, man? Joe told me about that. Joe Olson, you know, this guy in India, he made millions of dollars selling our data from India. Selling our data from India because these companies, they want to offshore into the cheap labor visa programs, right? They bring them in, they train them, then they ship them back to India, and then they, run. I mean, how many times have you called? Let me see your hands, right? Have you called, one of you, let's say, for something, your cell phone, or or you're calling with Amazon, right? And you want to get a refund from Amazon or something, right? And you're talking to somebody in India, or you're just talking about a bill, right? Your bill is wrong or something, and you call people and you're talking to somebody in India that already has your shit, man. That's scary. Is it just sent you the perfect pic since you mentioned the machines? Oh, Sarah Connor, did you text me that? Yeah. Post this. Can I post this? I can't post that. I have to email it to myself. Okay, Sarah Connor, watching you use AI for everything. Here, maybe I can show it here. So Ann sent me that. Can you guys see that? Hold on. I gotta go to my live screen. I'm not watching my live screen. You guys see that? Uh-oh. Got my light. All right, so it says Sarah Connor, watching you use AI for everything. There it is right there, right? I mean, wasn't that what the movie was about, man? Wasn't that what that movie was about? The machines. I just saw let me see, War of the Worlds, right? I saw it was on Prime. It was on Prime last night. I watch movies. I do take time to watch movies with wifey, but so we watch, it's Ice Cube, right? It's called War of the Worlds. Check out that. It's a 2-star. They only gave it a 2-star movie. I know why they gave it a 2-star movie, because they were telling some real shit in that movie, right? And it was all about data. It was all about how the government has known for years, right? I mean, so this is where the fiction come in at, where movies are not real, but movies are really, really real, but they just throw enough fiction in there, right? So it's not real, right? To make it not real, to make it nonfiction, it's just a movie. But if you guys have Prime, or either find this movie. It's the new War of the Worlds. It's with Ice Cube, right? And it tells about how the aliens have been coming to the United States to steal or to get our data that the government has been stealing from us, right? So they can attack America, right? So they can attack America. It was actually a pretty good movie. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit cheesy, but it was all about how the government for decades have been stealing our data, and they know that the aliens from the Area 51, the UFOs, right? They've been coming to America to steal our data, to learn how to attack us and to attack America. And then so the movie is actually pretty good. So check it out. But it's all about what we're talking about now. It's all about protecting your data. It's all about who should own your data. Right? The government should not own your data. The government should have to pay you for your data. We shouldn't have big AI computers with all of our data without our permission. That's a violation. And it actually said in the movie that the guy who created this thing called Goliath, right? I'm giving a little bit of the movie away. This big computer AI called Goliath, and the aliens were coming to plug into Goliath to steal all the data. And basically what it was saying was it's a violation of our First and Fourth Amendment rights for them to have our data and steal our data, because that's unreasonable search and seizure. So these companies like LinkedIn, if you and these AI companies that's going to have your data, when they change their policies, you guys better go through and look at all the privacy policies, right? When they go through and change these, they're sticking that shit in little bitty places in the small print to train their AIs. This is what they're doing now, right? So you might want to go check your privacy, rights and shit. Be like, no, I don't agree to that, even though you might get kicked off. or whatever if you don't agree with it. But yeah, so this movie was actually pretty interesting, but it was all about data, your data. And it's actually pretty funny that, I was going to talk about the data on this, and then I actually found that I was just scrolling through Prime. I was just scrolling through Prime and checked it out, and then start watching this movie, and I was like, wow, this is perfect, man. This goes right with the show, but it's all about your data, man. Who should own your shit, right? Who should own your stuff, man? It's just ridiculous. So my brother's keeper is in the house. Hello, sir. Hey, better late than never, man. Better late than never. Jackie say, I've had friends actually crash Siri in the past. Legit, it shut down. That's funny, hilarious. But yeah, all right, so let's move on to the next segment, I guess, of the show. What I want to talk about, I tell you, my shit's never scripted, man, or anything like that. But I do write down some stuff just to talk about. So this week we talk about Epstein and Maxwell's and Ghislaine 100 names, right? So did you guys hear that? This and this really pisses me off too, right? This whole Epstein thing, I tell you they was going to try to sweep it under the rug. I tell you they were not going to try. We have to keep talking about it because they're not going to talk about it, right? I told you when I ran the Epstein show, and they talk about that 1 minute missing, right? And how they were. I tell you, they're not going to mention that minute, man. You guys got to keep asking about it. Where's the missing minute? Show us the missing minute. Show us more cameras. That the Bondi, you said that all the cameras do it because they were working with 90s technology. Bullshit. They're working with 90s technology, so all of them miss a minute around midnight. You're lying. Show us the minute. And you see there, they haven't said anything else about the missing minute, right? And then, Trump keeps going back and forth with, it's a hoax. And then he said the other day, what was it? I think I sent it to my email. He said the other day, he was in an interview or something, and damn, why is this so big, man? Reset. Let's see if I can find it. How he wants everything to be released, right? He wants everything to be released, but but he doesn't want people to get hurt, right? But he doesn't want people to get hurt. I'm like, what is that? Hold on, man. What is that supposed to mean, bro? That what these people did, and so you were talking about it was a hoax, and it pisses me off so much, man, when you mention this stuff, and then people are like, well, I can't believe you guys are still talking about the list. Well, that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to talk about, oh, the Democrats had it and it's probably corrupted, and it's probably, that's what they want you to say. That's what they want you to say, right? So, apparently she reported sharing documents. So it's all a fraud. It's all fake, right? I mean, this is what it's, and I support President Trump on most of this shit. This is not one of them. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. Now it says that she reportedly shared more documents linking over 100 individuals to Jeffrey Epstein. While serving a 20-year sentence, it says, I'm reading right now. So it says, Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel previously warned that further disclosures could expose additional suspects and victims. And here's the thing, and they always throw the victim shit in there, right? No, motherfuckers. And this pisses me off. They always throw the victims in there. Here's the deal. Here's the deal on that, right? They say further disclosures could expose additional suspects. Yeah, exactly. Then they throw and victims. Now the victims want these motherfuckers exposed. The victims want them exposed, especially the victims that are adults now that's in hiding because they can't talk about it because they think they're gonna die like Virginia Giuffre, right? These victims want these people exposed. They don't care. about who they don't care about themselves. I believe they want them exposed, right? And Maxwell is seeking a reduced sentence through her cooperation with authorities. Well, how about that? I mean, she did get moved to a nicer jail. So think about it like a pedophile who ran and trafficked a human trafficker, a kid sex trafficker, right? In jail for doing a 20-year sentence. She gave us some information on people that hurt kids, and she get moved to a better prison. A better prison. You should rot in hell. You should rot in hell. You helped hurt these kids. And they talking about a lesser sentence. I've heard things about pardons. Trump said, oh, no, he hadn't heard, well, what he said was, yeah, I can do it, but I haven't really thought about it. It's people in your ear every day about that. So this disclosure supports warnings from Bondi and others that individuals within Epstein's circle may be implicated. And then Trump comes out and they ask him, we say, well, yeah, it's out there, but I just don't want. It's a lot of people could get hurt. Who? Yeah, we know this, man. We know a lot of people should get hurt. Government should topple. I don't care who it is. Government should topple. If it's the king, if it's the prince, if it's you, I don't care. Governments, Lindsey, look, man, these people need to be held accountable. Why are you protecting fucking pedophiles is my question. Why are you protecting these people? The investigation reportedly names figures. We already know Bill Clinton, Leon Black, fashion designer Vera Wang. I didn't know that. So Maxwell's attorney stated Miss Maxwell answered every single question. She never stopped. She never invoked privilege. So she went in there and was a canary. She sang like a canary. She never declined to answer. She answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, to the best of her ability for a pedophile. Attorney David Oscar Marcus said this was a thorough, comprehensive interview by the Deputy Attorney General. He added that she wants to tell the truth. The pedophile and sex trafficker wants to tell the truth because the truth can be corroborated or disproven. If she lies, they could charge her with lying. Ooh. Maxwell met with federal officials while carrying a box believed to hold the case. So where did she get this box? Where did she get? Maxwell met with federal officials carrying a box. Believe she's been in prison. She's in prison. Believed to hold case documents before returning to prison. She has not yet requested a pardon from President Donald Trump. When questioned about a pardon, Trump said, here it is, I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about, he added. I don't know about the meeting. I know it's taking place. He's a fantastic man. He's a great attorney. Marcus said, this is not a situation where we're asking anything in return for testimony or anything like that. But she got moved to a posh prison, a better prison. She got moved right after this, though. Of course, everybody knows that Miss Maxwell would welcome any relief. Yeah, you think the pedophile, the child trafficker, this is what they do. This is what they do. They protect their own. Marcus added, she's been in very difficult conditions for 5 years. What about the kids that were in the bad conditions that you took to Jeffrey Epstein and all of his clients? What about them? What about them? What about the adults suffering from the abuse when they were kids, when they were teenagers, and you took them to the biggest pedophile in the world, and they're on video and this is why they say, oh, the victims are going to be hurt because they're on video. So they have video of these people doing it. Go arrest the people that's on the video. Is it that hard? Is it that hard if they're on video? Oh, the victims, we have to redact everything because it's on video. Well, if it's on video, you have the clients, you have the perpetrators, go arrest them. It's on video. It's not that hard. Or am I wrong? Am I wrong? So she would welcome any relief. It's the right thing to do. We have faith that the right thing will happen sooner or later. Can y'all believe this shit? Can you believe this? I'm trying to find this Trump, man. I sent it to myself and I'm trying to find where, he talks about. But can you believe that? I might have to go on Instagram to find out. What is this here? I'm checking out some Instagram stuff. I'm trying to find a post. But help me out, man. You guys help me out here. Am I off base? Am I wrong? Because I see people. Because people, they tell me all the time, that, well, man, you're still talking about the list, man. Trump has done so many great things. I can't find it right now. Trump has done so many great things for America. He's done so many great things. Well, you know what? Truth of the matter is, we haven't really seen the results of any of this. I don't think. I'm still paying $3.95 for gas. Yeah, it maybe came down a little bit. But I haven't really seen. Yeah, and I know they just, the tariffs are coming and supposedly they keep changing dates and, and everything, so, I get that, but to be true, Tinman, but to be true about it, we really haven't seen the results. One, he keeps blaming Powell. Yeah, Powell won't, cut the rates. He won't cut the interest rates. I get that. That will probably help. Cutting interest rates will help. We are, apparently bringing in billions of dollars from tariffs. Trump had to fire another person, I guess, that was held over from the Obama-Biden administration, who put up fake job numbers last week. Why didn't they just clean house? Susie Wiles. I blame Susie Wiles. Why didn't you just go in, everybody that were there during Obama and Biden, and get rid of everybody? Why didn't you just do that? Why didn't you just clean house totally? Totally. Why didn't you just do that? Why do we have to hear about, fake job numbers, now fire that person? Why weren't that person, if it was a holdover, why weren't they gone in the first place? But these people, man, they like, man, just stop talking about this shit. No, I'm never going to stop talking about this Epstein. I'm not going to stop talking about it. Right? So let's turn the heat up on this just a little bit. So last week, like I said, Epstein convicted co-conspirator. She got moved to a new facility, man, after dropping 100 names. So we went over it, right? So, we don't know yet what's going to happen, but the DOJ is sniffing around a little bit. So who was on the 100 names? We know there were 100 names. Now, why can't you just give us those 100? Why can't you give us those 100 names, right? 100 names. So who are these people? Are they politicians? Are they CEOs? Are they Hollywood elites? Are they world elites? Are they presidents? Are they vice presidents? Are they leaders of countries? Are they in Congress? Are they in the Senate? We don't know, but the DOJ is sniffing around. What the fuck are you sniffing around for? You got the names. You have the names. She gave them to you. She gave you 100 more. She gave you 100 more to add to the list. Is this going to be 100? Are we ever going to see any names off of this list. And for you people that say, "Oh man, you're still talking about the list, man," well, she just gave him a new list. So what? If you guys don't want to go off the old list, if you guys want to stop talking about the old list because Daddy Trump say we're not going to talk about the list, okay, let's talk about the new list. Let's do this. Let's talk about these new 100 names. Who are they? Who are they? Right? You know, and I know you blame it on the judges. The judges, you know, they blocked the grand jury. Oh, it's the judges' fault. And the House votes on. Okay, so you're going to blame it on the judge. The judge is covering up now. It's a cover up, man. This whole thing is a cover up. Why are judges blocking pedophiles? Why are they doing that? Why are they blocking releasing the grand jury testimony and the grand jury documents? These are sex traffickers. These are pedophiles. These are people that hurt kids. What part of that doesn't smell of a cover up? And we voted for transparency. We voted for transparency. And why? And why? Because Epstein's web touches the most powerful. This is why. His web touched a lot. And Epstein is not dead. Y'all can cancel that too. And I proved it, I think. Couple shows ago. But Epstein's web, it touches the most powerful in the world. And they're squirming. They're squirming right now. Ex-posts are buzzing. Max saying, you know, ex-posts like, you know, there was Max, who's it? Eric Dahl, I think. Maxwell's info could lock up high-level players. Could lock up high-level players. She gave him 100 more names. Let's use the new list she just gave them. See, here's the question. Will the DOJ act on this? Will Pam Bondi act on this? The attorney, deputy, AG, the deputy attorney general went in there. Is he, you know, and I've told you guys, I've said it. I've said these are gatekeepers. These are gatekeepers. Are they going to gatekeep these next 100 names? Are they going to gatekeep these 100 names? Just release them. Oh, well, a lot of people are going to get hurt. They should. They should. If they participated in hurting kids, if they participate in trafficking, if they participate in child sex abuse and having sex with these little girls and probably boys, they need to be hurt. You know, or is this just another elite dodge? Is this just some more protection for the elite? Right? I mean, and this honestly ties, when I'm thinking about it, this honestly ties right into the data games that we're seeing. Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's war casualties, the powerful hide what they don't want us to see. They just hide it. And they just keep hiding it, plain in your face. Plain in your face, man. Stay on it. Stay on it. Stay on it. And who do you think is on? Let's just play this. Who do you think is on Maxwell's new list? Who do you think is on Maxwell's list, man? Who do you think? Is the DOJ dragging his feet to protect the elite? Yes or no? And well, I want to hear what you all think. I want to hear what you all think. But we're not going to let this go. We're not going to let this go. The Epstein files and Maxwell names could definitely blow the lid off of this thing. Stay loud, demand the truth. Keep the pressure on, man. You know? So let me see. I'm going to go to the chat. Whose names might be on this thing? Probably the same ones as before. She probably just dropped the ones that before, right? She has jogging privileges in the open air, right? You know what I'm saying, man? I mean, what do we know? Okay, so K3624. See, this is a psyop. This is the psyop. Understand the protection of the psyop. So understand the psyop. And you know, this is a good question. And this so K3624 says, I mean, what do we know? We don't know what Dems did for years, Clinton, Obama, and Biden. Yeah, we do, because they've had them since they've had it. They 2019 or whatever, they took stuff from Jeffrey. They took stuff from all of his mansions. And these are conservative. Pam Bondi was the AG down in Florida. They raided Jeffrey Epstein's mansion down there. They've had all of this stuff. Was it 2008 is when he got convicted, right? In Florida. They have all the stuff. They already have it. It's been locked up. They have it. So, I mean, to me, it's not really about what they did for years. It doesn't matter because they've had the information. They had the information before Obama became president. So they've already had the names. They've had cases. Jeffrey Epstein was already prosecuted and got a sweetheart deal. He had a sweetheart deal from a judge. That Acosta set up, and the victims didn't even know about it. The victims didn't even know about the sweetheart deal. He only got 13 months in prison. They already know. Israel is holding the information. They know who has the information. They know why you think these people are beholden to Israel, because they have the information. It's not rocket science. So the psyop is, the Democrats have tampered with the fucking information. That's the psyop. And it's working perfectly because people are saying, I'm not picking on you, K3624. I'm not picking on you. I want you to stick around. You're my friend. But that's the psyop. They want you questioning the list now. So when they do release the list, right? So if the list ever get released, right? That list has been messed with. My name I never went to Epstein. The Democrats, the Democrats tampered with the list. My name wasn't on there. You see the psyop now? They throw the shade out there to make you believe it's an old CIA. It's an old CIA operation, right? It's a conspiracy thing. Just throw the question out there and make them believe, hey, yeah, it's been tampered with, so it's no more good. So let's start talking about it. And people are already coming at me. Look, why are you still talking? You still think that list is any good? That's the psyop. That's the psyop. No, and he's not using it as leverage. No. Well, put it like this. I'll tell you this. Okay. You say, could it be that they're using it for leverage? If they're using it for leverage, they're fucked up, because if they have a list and they know the list, they know the people on the list. Well, the videos, they have videos. They have videos. Okay, let's screw the list. They have the videos, people on the video, right? And they know who's on the video. They know who's on the video. And if they're using that for leverage and not criminally prosecuting these people, then that's even worse, because they know. That's even worse, because that tells me that they know exactly who these people are, that they're using it for leverage against what? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you use pedophilia? Why would you use child trafficking? Why would you use, these people are guilty. Why would you use that for leverage against them? That's called blackmail. And the last time I checked, and last time I read, blackmail is illegal. Last time I checked, blackmail is illegal. So if they have the information and using it as leverage, that's blackmail. That's sort of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing to them. That's what Israel's doing to them. They have the information. They're using it as leverage to get what you want, to get everything you want. That's called blackmail. That's illegal. And I hope our president of the United States and his administration is not protecting these people using it as leverage, because that would be a little illegal. And then they drop all these MK files. What, 208? Who's going to read through all that shit? We already know what happened to MLK. The fucking FBI and the CIA had him killed. Okay. I think this is more relevant. This is more relevant because you know what? Because the people that were involved, and some of them are probably dead, but the people that's on that list, the people that are on the video, the people that are involved in probably all of this, the Obama stuff, all of the Hillary Clinton, all of these, all of these big things right now, all these people's names are probably, this is more important to me and more relevant than who killed JFK and MLK, to be honest, because they're dead. They're not coming back. These people are still living. These people are probably still hurting children because they know they're not going to be outed. They know they're not going to be prosecuted because they have the gatekeepers protecting them, because all of them are compromised. And I'm not saying Trump is on that list, but I'm seeing some other stuff now that's like, I don't know, man. But I don't think he's on the list because they would have used it in 2016, I believe. But maybe they couldn't use it against him because he would have outed that. I'm not saying so. Don't at me about this shit. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. I'm just reading the chat over here. So Trump is CIA. They're going in. I got a pure blood. Welcome. I see ya. Better late than never. I mean, but you guys, am I off base here? I just want to know, am I off base? And and Carolyn says that they say the Godfather is protecting his own. And so what was the first thing out of Diddy's mouth when he thought he was getting jail time? Hint, Trump will pardon me. His boys also, yeah. St. James, they referred to as the Island Boys. They were Bozo's favorite. Yeah. And Trump is scared of BB for some reason. I mean, it seems like it, right? It seems like it, Carolyn. Carolyn say Trump is scared of BB. Look, man, you guys gotta understand. This was worldwide. Worldwide. People are compromised. People are compromised. And they're protecting them. They're protecting them. Epstein wasn't the only pimp to the elites. No, not at all. Yeah, right, pure blood. He never went to the island. All of his flights were before island. Yeah, and the only flight that I saw, Trump on the list. I have the list. I've had the list for years. I had the list before Pam Bondi put out that bullshit in the books with that, when they used those what do you call them, people, influencers or whatever, when for the photo op. Yeah, phase 1. Did they say it was gonna be phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, right? Where's phase 2, right? Where's phase 2? But the only time I saw Trump, and I looked thoroughly, it's people on that list, man. And I looked thoroughly on the flight logs. Oh, just because they're on the flight logs don't mean they went to the island. Yeah, but when they're on a flight log from the ICAO to the island, that means they went to the island, right? Trump was not on the ICAO to the island. Trump went from he flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane one time from Teterboro Airport down to West Palm Beach with his family because his plane broke. And he asked Epstein for a ride back to West Palm, and Epstein took him. So Trump was not on the island. Let's just make that clear. From everything that I've seen, he was never on the island. But, dude, you can't be protecting these people. I don't give a shit. If because he has to, I gotta find that video. He has to know who's on the list because he said a lot of people are gonna be hurt. Who are these people, man? Who are these people that are gonna be hurt? The victims have already been hurt. The victims have already had to go through years and probably mental anguish. They already been through it. So who are these people? Who are you protecting? And that's my thing, man. You can't be protecting these people. Yeah, you say I want the entire list. He said the other day. I have it somewhere. He said the other day, I want I want everything to be released. Is what he said a month ago. He said it was a hoax. I'm trying to figure the dude out at this point. I'm trying to figure out the 5D chess. Trying to figure out. Okay. Everything's a hoax. No. I want everything released, but people are going to get hurt. If it's a hoax, what is there to release, though? What is there to release? Oh, she just gave 100 more names. So for people like, man, the Democrats messed up the list, then there's if you're still believing that there's a list, I know that there's a list. I know that there's video. They took it from his mansions, all of his houses in Mexico, New Mexico, and New York, and freaking Florida, and Little St. James Island. They took all this stuff. They said he went to jail for it. He got prosecuted for it already. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for a reason. She's trying to get a lighter sentence for a reason. She can jog free now. She's in a less secure prison because she's helping. A human trafficker is helping the government, so they're giving her some time off or whatever. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's bad. You know, so I mean, but and I just can't let it go. I'm sorry, I can't let it go. I can't let it go. All right, so we're going. So now let's talk about. Shit, I got about 30 minutes left, but we're gonna talk about Obama, the Tulsi Gabbard's bombshell. Okay, so now I'm gonna get on this. I'm gonna get on my soapbox on this one now. All right, so this week. All right, so the DNI Tulsi Gabbard. So I guess around July 17th is when it happened, right? You know, she declassified the 2020. Everybody's heard it. Everybody's seen it. You know, James Clapper, Lord, we talked about it last week, right? You know, and everybody's saying, okay, they manufacture intelligence to paint Russia. Okay, this is what's happening, right? This is what they're talking about now. They don't want to talk about Epstein, but this is the big thing that everybody wants to talk about, okay? You know, so despite, you know, the reports with Russia saying they didn't have intent or capability to hack the election, she handed it to the DOJ for criminal referrals, naming Obama. So Obama's been referred. And these people have been referred. You got Clapper, you got Brennan, all these people. Hillary Clinton. Finally, Hillary Clinton's name is being brought up, right? Now you even had President Trump posting an AI generated video of Obama in handcuffs on Truth Social, right? And then these these Democrats, we got Mark Warner, Jim Hines, or whatever. They're crying foul, calling it baseless and a distraction from the Epstein mess. Now the Democrats want all the Epstein mess to come out. No, you don't, because you're on the list too. You know, it's just like saying, well, Israel has the Republicans, you know, all of them have. Dude, Democrats have their Israeli handlers too, their AIPAC handlers. There's only a couple in there that don't. Massey said he's one of them. That's why they're going after Massey hard, man, because Massey dropped the bomb. All these motherfuckers got AI handlers, man. Not AI, Israeli AIPAC handlers. All of them. So now these people, they're crying foul. Probably the ones not on the video list. They're the ones out here crying, you know. Let the we want to release all the Epstein stuff now. Right? And so former CIA officer Susan Miller told The Guardian it's bullshit. Her team's 2016 findings on Russia interference were legit, not Obama's orders. Not Obama's orders. So who's telling the truth? And like I say, here we go again. It smells like the same data manipulation we see with LinkedIn. See how all this stuff is tied in together, man? Right? The world numbers, they just spin these stories, man, to protect the elite. They just spin these stories, man. Keep spinning the stories, right? And my question is, here's my question. I don't even want to get into the tariffs, man, because everybody's gonna be talking about the tariffs. You got the tariff threats on 50% on Brazil, 15 or whatever percent on South Korea and Canada, and just all this other shit, right? So I'm not going to talk about tariffs. I just need to wait, and I just need to wait until until we see what happens. I mean, that's the only way we're going to see, and, until we see what happens, right? Pure blood said maybe they won't release it because it will reveal where he's living. Pure blood, you conspiracy theorists, you think Epstein is still alive? You think he's still alive? I mean, so Black Gun say Trump using the word hoax was a poor choice of words. He meant the Democrats using it as a distraction. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Tulsi's doing. My brother's keepers. MBK says that Tulsi is doing the best job she can. Is she? He knows his ass is in deep. So Carolyn says he knows his ass is in deep. Talking about BB. He knows his ass is in deep. Epstein even modeled some of his companies identical to Trump. He's been there since before he got the beauty pageants. I mean, Epstein's been on the scene for a long time. If you go back, to his dad, Epstein. I mean, this guy. You go back and talk about Epstein. He got this math job at this prestigious college, and some bitch wasn't even qualified, but he got the job. And Bob Barr's daddy, that was the AG, the attorney general to Trump, and his daddy hired Epstein to be a math teacher, and and nobody can really say, then he went on and do some Wall Street stuff, but nobody can, and nobody. We'll put it like this: nobody admits, or no one can track, or no one wants to bring out how Epstein made all of it. He was worth supposedly over $600 million or whatever. Probably more than that, 600 billion maybe. Probably 600 billion is more like it. But no one can say how he made his money. No one ever admits, can come out and I know one of the what was that? I played the clip of the congressman saying there's a Treasury report on Jeffrey Epstein at the Treasury that will tell everything, that will trace his money, that will tell everything, and they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that. Yeah, like I said last week, Carolyn says Massey and some others are working on a bill to present when they came back, demand release. Yeah, he was trying to get a vote on that before they left, and that's why they left early. That's why they left early. They didn't leave early because they wanted to, because they didn't have anything to do, because they still had, they left early so they wouldn't have a vote on Massey's bill releasing the Epstein papers. So they're gonna try to memory hole you when they come back in September, because it's all gonna be about when they get here. Let me front load you on what it's gonna be when they come back in September, because they want you memory hole. They want you to not remember any of the bullshit that was going on when they left. Okay. It's all going to be about, we're reaching the debt ceiling. We don't have a budget. We're going to have to pass another big omnibus bill to keep the government running past September 30th. And we got to pass another CR, and they got to give you this theater, right? They're going to give you this theater about, we don't want another CR. We can't do a CR. We have to pass a budget. We have to do this. And it's all coming up on election season. September You get into October, it's election season for 2026. So they can't be worrying about this stuff because they're all going to be out on the campaign trail. They're going to use all of this stuff to start sending you texts and emails, if you haven't started getting them already, right? To fundraise for them to send them money because we can't allow the Democrats to take the House. The Democrats we have to take the House, and we don't have time for the Epstein list, and we don't have time for this stuff because the government is going to run out of money and we have to fund. But then you just fund the government, man, with this, with the big, beautiful bill and the other CR you just did. And now you see what I'm saying? Are you following me? Are you following me? I'm the only person that's going to tell you the truth, man. That's why we do the truth and unedited. That's what's going to happen. They left early. They didn't want to talk about the Epstein thing. They come back. They're not going to talk about the Epstein thing. The Democrats are going to be hitting on the tariffs, and they're going to be doing this. They're going to try to fundraise on that, and the Republicans are going to. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, they're off till September. They are up till September. I like I say, man, shoot, I was trying to get into Congress. Hell, they work less and get paid more than any fucking body. You know, they don't have time for, and then, right? You know, you got Thune and you got Johnson. So you got these guys, you know, they didn't already rigged the game against Trump, where he can't make recess appointments because they're not going to recess. They're going to recall. Do I have that? Wait, I gotta see if I have that. Where is it? Okay. Yeah. Let me send myself. I'm gonna send this to myself real quick because I'm gonna play this clip for you. I'm gonna play this clip. I mean, because this is how they rigged the game, man. Because this is the only. Okay, let me grab this and download it real quick. You know, this is how they play you, though, man. This is the game. Extended service per. Hold up. Play clip 22. I need a producer, man. I'm telling you, I need a producer for the show. I produce my own show, man, live and in freaking color, man. But all right, so I'm gonna play this for you guys real quick. Hold up. Video file. I don't make enough money to have my own producer. Is it set today? Yeah. Boom.
Leader,
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent.
can I have order, please?
May I ask unanimous
Okay,
consent that
so
the call be suspended?
all right, so what you're seeing, right? So listen to this. This is John Thune. This is the majority leader of the Senate. Okay. Trump is the only president that's been president probably in the last fucking 100 years that has not made any recess appointments because they won't let him. They don't trust him enough to let him make recess appointments. And they're slow walking all of his appointments. They're slow walking all the judges. They're just slow walking. And this is Thune. And this is supposed to be the Republican Party. This is supposed to be what we voted for, right? This is supposed to be, we have the House, we have the Senate, we have the president. We should be getting everything we want, right? But the Republicans block it. It's not just the Democrats. I keep telling people, it is not just the Democrats. It's the Republicans too. It's the Republicans not doing their job. So they're supposed to they're on recess now. They left. They left a week or two ago, or whatever, right? So they're supposed to leave this month. Officially, this month is supposed to be their recess until September. But they were supposed to have all this business done before they recess, right? So, and if you don't know, when they recess, while they're gone, the president actually make them recess. He can actually, I think it's an amendment or an article in the Constitution where the president can actually adjourn the Senate and the House of Representatives, make them adjourn and they can't come back. This is what President Trump should do. However, this is part of the theater. This is part of it, okay? So I'm going to play this for you. This is John Thune, the Majority Leader of the Senate.
The Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent.
Can I have order, please?
May I ask unanimous consent that quorum call be suspended?
Without objection.
And I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate completes its business today, it adjourn to then convene for pro forma session only with no business being conducted on the following dates and times: Tuesday, August 5th at 1, Friday, August 8th at 1:05, Tuesday, August 12th at 8 a.m., Friday, August 15th at 10:15 a.m., Tuesday, August 19th at 10 a.m., Friday, August 22nd at 9 a.m., Tuesday, August 26th at 12 p.m. noon, and Friday, August 29th at 7 a.m. Further.
All right, so listen to what he says, right? I'm going to play this again. I'm going to stop it at a very important part. Listen,
The Majority Leader.
listen to
Mr.
this.
President, I ask unanimous consent.
Can I have order, please?
May I ask unanimous consent that quorum call be suspended?
Without objection.
And I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate completes its business today, it adjourn to then convene for pro forma session only with no business being conducted on the.
Stop. After we're done with the business today, we're going to reconvene pro forma with no business being done. Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch it? Let me play it again. Let me play it again. Listen.
Leader.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent.
Can I have order, please?
May I ask unanimous consent that quorum call be suspended?
Without objection.
First of all, the quorum call, which means they don't have to have a quorum, okay?
I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate completes its business today, it adjourn to then convene for pro forma session only with no business being conducted on the following dates and times: Tuesday.
Only with no business being conducted. So, and then they give the dates, and it's every 4 days. It's like every 3 to 4 days, because they're doing this every 3 to 4 days. You guys can listen to the dates again. I'll play the whole clip again. Every 3 to 4 days for pro forma with no business being done. Why are you bringing your ass to DC adjourning, right? Convening. Why are you bringing your ass to DC convening to fake pro forma, to fake a fucking that you're doing something, but ain't no work gonna be done? Why are you bringing your ass to DC to do that? It's to prevent President Trump from making recess appointments of his judges. This is what this is about. Don't play it from the beginning and just let it play. You listen to the dates.
The Majority
Listen
Leader.
to the dates.
President, I ask unanimous consent.
Can I have order, please?
May I ask unanimous consent that quorum call be suspended?
Without objection.
And I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate completes its business today, it adjourn to then convene for pro forma session only with no business being conducted on the following dates and times: Tuesday, August 5th at 1, Friday, August 8th at 1:05, Tuesday, August 12th at 8 a.m., Friday, August 15th at 10:15 a.m., Tuesday, August 19th at 10 a.m., Friday, August 22nd at 9 a.m., Tuesday, August 26th at 12 p.m. noon, and Friday, August 29th at 7 a.m. Further.
The Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous.
To pro forma convene with no work being done for the entire month of August, every 3 to 4 days, because they come back in September. And then it's going to be the debt ceiling. We're going to reach the debt ceiling, and we're going to run out of money, and Medicare is going to go broke, and Social Security is going to go broke, and we're not going to have any money for the military, and we're not going to have any money for SNAP, and we got to do a CR because we can't do our fucking jobs as Congress and make a budget as required in the Constitution of the United States. It's all theater, man. It's all theater. Why do I think we the people need to I know it never happened, but we need to have our representatives go on put in a constitutional amendment to where the Congress and the Senate get paid per diem. They don't get a paycheck anymore. They don't get a paycheck anymore. They don't get paid to do nothing. They don't get paid to come to Congress, to adjourn, to convene on 4 days in March, to pro forma to do no business. They don't get paid to do that. They don't get paid anymore. You know, Congress and the entire Congress used to get paid per diem. When they were at work, is when they got paid. I think we need to go back to that. I think we really need to go back to, we stripped the $184,000 salary that most of them are making, are becoming millionaires on, and put their asses back on per diem, because they're never there anyway. And when they are there, they're faking and they're not doing any work, because we're going to prevent this president from making any recess appointments because we don't trust this motherfucker. That's what he just said. That's what he just said. And these other people we have representing us, man. You see Susan Collins, she back there smiling. She say, yeah. Susan Collins is back there. Like you say, Susan Collins' face says it all. Black Guns, you are 100% right, my man. 100% right. Thune is just another McConnell. Yeah, he's McConnell's boy. He's McConnell's boy. Slush funds and DC lobbies. Yeah, that's true. That's where they get the real money from, but they still get a paycheck from us. I think we should stop paying Congress. I think Congress should get put back on per diem. It just drives me insane, man. You know, this is why I'm like, I'm not doing this show next week, man. I'm not doing the show next week. But if I don't, when I don't do this show, I miss you guys. I really do. I miss you guys and gals. Man, but this is insane, isn't it? I mean, it just makes no sense. Makes no sense. It's all theater. It's all theater. But I think Trump should actually adjourn them. And I think, I have to read the Constitution, but I think if the president adjourns them, they cannot come back. And it is in his legal right. Hold on. It is in his legal right. See if I can find it. His constitutional right to adjourn Congress. It's Article 2, Section 3. Oh, but it says that the president can adjourn Congress if there is a disagreement between the two houses regarding the time of adjournment or something. But this president, he's never exercised this. So I guess only if there's a disagreement between Congress. Is there a disagreement? No, because they're all in on this shit. They're all in on it, man. They're all in on it. It's crazy. Unbelievable. But hey, man, this is what we have. This is what we're dealing with, man. We're just dealing with a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, Carolyn, send their ass home without pay. Yeah, we wish. We wish, but I don't get it, man. When people want to come at me, but guys, that's a wrap, Patriots. I think we're gonna wrap it tonight. And we did our thing. I think we did our thing tonight. We exposed LinkedIn's data grab. We, Maxwell's 100 names that they're not gonna release. We, you're gonna hear enough about Obama and all that shit. So I just touched on it a little bit. But this is your fight, though. I mean, this is our fight. Against big tech. Continue fight against the deep state. Continue against the fight against the elite who think they own us. All I can say is keep the pressure on, man. And go. You guys go check your LinkedIn settings. And go there and go to the data. And go turn that shit off, man. Demand that these Epstein files keep screaming it. Keep screaming it from the mountaintops, man. Demand these Epstein files and videos, and don't let them gaslight you on, well, the victims are going to be hurt. There's too many people going to be hurt. Don't let them gaslight you on that. The only people going to be hurt are these elites who have committed these horrendous crimes, man, and question every number you hear. Question everything. Question everything, y'all. We here live every Sunday, unless I'm on vacation, I'm going to take a break. But we're here live every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on X, on Getter, YouTube, Rumble. Sometimes on Facebook. Sometimes I don't go live on Facebook because I just despise the platform. Pickaxe. We're live on Pickaxe. You can find the show on Roku. Go to Pickaxe and sign up for my show, man. You know, go there and subscribe. Go to Pickaxe and subscribe. Pickaxe is going to be the next big thing, man. We're not going to have the AI. They're not going to be tracking you. They're not going to have that. Go to pickaxe.com. Sign up. Find me on there. Friend me. Become, subscribe to my page over there on pickaxe.com. We're on Roku TV. It's so funny because I actually have a Roku TV, and I actually found myself on Roku and watch the show on Roku, and we all on I'm on all major podcast platforms. I put the show up on the podcast right after the show. Right after the show, I upload it on all the major podcasts. You can find me on Apple. You can find me on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Google, wherever. All right, so follow us on here. Share the show. Share the show. Please follow us. Follow me on Rumble. Follow me on Getter. Follow me on all these platforms. Share the show. Share the show. Stay radical. Stay radical, man. I'm signing off today. All right, I'm gonna sign off. And how we going out today, y'all? How we gonna go out today? We're gonna go. Let's see here. Boom. All right. I think this is how we're gonna go out. So God bless us. God bless America. Let's keep the fight on the truth. Let's rock.
Walking down the street, went out the corner of my eye, saw a pretty little thing approaching me. She said, I never seen a man who looks so all alone. Or could you use a little company? If you pay the right price, your evening will be nice, and you can go and send me on my way. I said, you're such a sweet young thing, why you do this to yourself? She looked at me, and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though I wish I could. I know there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Not even 15 minutes later, I'm still walking on the street when I saw the shadow of a man creep out of sight. And then he swept up from behind, he put a gun up to my head, he made it clear he wasn't looking for a fight. He said, give me all you got, I want your money, not your life. If you try to make a move, I won't think twice. I told him you could have my cash, but first you know I gotta ask what made you wanna live this kind of life. He said there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though I wish I could. Oh no, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Yeah. Well, now a couple hours passed and I was sitting in my house. The day was winding down and coming to an end. And so I turned to the TV and flipped it over to the news. And what I saw, I almost couldn't comprehend. I saw a preacher man in cuffs, he taking money from the church. He stuffed his bank account with righteous dollar bills. But even still, I can't say much because I know we're all the same. Oh yes, we all seek out to satisfy those thrills. You know there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. We got bills to pay, we got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know we can't slow down, we can't hold back, though we wish we could. I know there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good.